Seniors, eat this daily to regrow muscle and boost strength. Muscle loss after the age of 60 can often feel like an unavoidable part of aging, but it does not have to be that way. With the right foods eaten every day and a few simple habits, you can actually rebuild muscle strength and enhance your mobility without relying on intense workouts or expensive supplements. Today, we will talk about one incredibly powerful food that serves as excellent fuel for aging muscles, helping them repair and grow stronger. Along with that, I will share some bonus tips that work alongside this food to support muscle health without requiring heavy exercise routines. We are about to start with one of the most underrated muscle regrowing foods available: eggs. Eggs are often treated as just another breakfast item, but when it comes to muscle regrowth and maintaining strength as we age, they are anything but ordinary. Each egg contains all 9 essential amino acids, making it a complete protein source that supports muscle repair more effectively than many supplements found on store shelves. These amino acids are vital because your body cannot make them on its own, and muscle tissue cannot rebuild properly without them. One of the most crucial among them is leucine, which plays a direct role in triggering muscle protein synthesis. In simple terms, leucine tells your muscles it is time to grow. You get around 1 gram of leucine in every 2 eggs, and that is just the right amount older adults need to start the rebuilding process. On top of that, eggs are a surprising source of vitamin D, offering about 41 international units in each egg. While that might seem like a small amount, combined with other dietary sources, it can support better muscle coordination and improve grip strength, which is one of the most common signs of aging-related decline. According to research from Tufts University, low vitamin D levels are linked with an increased risk of falling, which often marks the beginning of reduced independence in older adults. So having eggs regularly can actually support balance and coordination beyond just helping muscles grow. Then there is choline, a nutrient that many people do not get enough of, but it is critical for nerve-muscle communication and brain function. 1 egg delivers around 147 milligrams of choline, helping maintain neuromuscular function and even supporting memory, which is often affected with age. Do you currently check if your meals include enough choline? I would love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments. You also get vitamin B12 in eggs, nearly half a microgram in each one. Vitamin B12 is vital for forming red blood cells, which transport oxygen to your muscles. Without enough oxygen, your muscles tire faster and your body struggles to sustain physical effort. I have seen this in many of my patients. Those who increased their vitamin B12 intake through foods like eggs often reported better energy and physical function over time. Now, let's take a closer look at how much you actually need to eat. For most people over 60, 2 whole eggs a day can be both safe and highly effective. What matters most is consistency. Eating them regularly means you are giving your body what it needs every day to support muscle tissue. The best time to eat them is within 90 minutes after any form of physical activity, even light walking, and it helps to pair them with a small source of complex carbohydrates, such as 1 slice of whole grain toast. That pairing helps deliver amino acids to muscle cells faster by triggering a small insulin response. When shopping, make sure to look for pasture-raised or omega-3 enriched varieties. Pasture-raised eggs tend to contain higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin E, both of which help reduce inflammation and support muscle recovery. Omega-3 enriched eggs also support heart and joint health, which are important when you are trying to stay active without strain. Avoid liquid egg products that contain additives or preservatives. They're often stripped of the very nutrients your muscles need. If you see a certified humane or non-GMO label, those are good signs of quality. Want to know how fresh your eggs are? Place them in a bowl of water. Fresh eggs will sink and lay flat, while older ones float. That is a quick trick I always share with patients. Let's take a more detailed look at one easy recipe you can try at home. It is called the Muscle Building Breakfast Scramble. Start with 2 eggs, a quarter cup of chopped spinach, 2 tablespoons of chopped onion, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, a dash of turmeric and black pepper, and half a small avocado if you like. Heat the olive oil in a pan, add the onions and spinach, and cook for about 2 minutes. Crack the eggs in and scramble them gently. Add the turmeric and pepper just before removing from heat. Turmeric adds a natural anti-inflammatory boost, and black pepper helps the body absorb it better. Adding avocado provides healthy fats that aid nutrient absorption and support joint health. I often recommend this exact meal to seniors in my care because it is simple, fast, and incredibly nourishing. Would this be something you could add to your routine? Now let's look into some of the common mistakes people make with eggs. One of the biggest issues is overcooking. When you overcook eggs, especially the yolk, you destroy heat-sensitive nutrients like choline and reduce their overall benefit. Another mistake is avoiding the yolk entirely. Many people think only the white is healthy, but in reality, the yolk is where most of the vitamins and minerals are found. Skipping it means missing out on nearly all of the vitamin D, choline, and essential fats. Also, some people eat their eggs without any fat, which can reduce the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D and vitamin A. Even a little olive oil or a few avocado slices can make a big difference. Let's examine the potential risks. For the vast majority of seniors, 2 eggs a day is perfectly fine. But if you have a rare genetic condition like familial hypercholesterolemia, where cholesterol levels are already dangerously high, it is better to speak to your doctor first. Also, if you are taking certain medications like statins or blood thinners, it is wise to check with your physician before making eggs a daily habit. I have seen cases where adding eggs helped patients maintain muscle strength without affecting their lab results, but it should still be based on individual conditions. After working with patients dealing with age-related muscle decline for 15 years, I can say that eggs are one of the most reliable foods for building muscle without fuss. I have watched seniors regain strength, improve balance, and even walk longer distances just by including eggs regularly in their meals. Many tried expensive powders or trendy high-protein diets before, but nothing gave them as steady and predictable a result as eating 2 whole eggs daily. So, do you eat eggs regularly? How do you like to prepare them? Drop a comment below and tell me how they fit into your daily meals, or if you plan to try that scramble recipe we just talked about. Now that you have seen the full power of this everyday food and how it can help rebuild muscle strength over time, let's move on to a highly effective movement technique that does not involve any heavy lifting. It is called isometric training. Before we continue, I would love to hear more about you. Where are you watching from, and what health goal matters most to you right now? If staying strong and active as you age is part of that, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you get the tools that really work. If this content helps you, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, go ahead and type 0. I want to keep improving it for you. Now, let's take a more detailed look at one of the simplest yet most powerful tools for building strength without stressing the joints. It is called isometric training. This approach uses static muscle contractions, meaning your muscles are working but your joints are not moving. That makes it perfect for people who are dealing with joint pain, recovering from an injury, or trying to build strength safely at home without equipment. During an isometric hold, muscle fibers are fully activated even though you stay in one position, which can lead to significant strength gains over time. Want to know something surprising? Studies from the Mayo Clinic have shown that older adults who consistently use isometric training can slow down muscle loss, also known as sarcopenia, and even regain some lost muscle function. You do not need much space or any machines. You can do wall sits by sliding down a wall into a seated position and holding. You can lie on the floor for glute bridges or stay seated for leg presses using your own resistance. Holding a plank on your elbows strengthens your core, and static calf raises can improve lower leg stability. Each of these movements targets a different muscle group, and holding for just 15 to 30 seconds can already challenge your body enough to create results. Did you know your bones respond to these static contractions by increasing their density too? That is a big deal because bone loss often happens quietly, and most people do not notice until they fall. I usually recommend starting with just 10 to 15 minutes a day and focusing on one major muscle group at a time. That makes the routine easier to stick with and helps avoid fatigue. Deep breathing is key during each hold because it lowers your blood pressure and improves oxygen delivery to working muscles. A common mistake people make is holding their breath, which can cause a sudden rise in blood pressure and dizziness. Another mistake is skipping a warm-up, which helps your muscles get ready and reduces strain. Always give yourself a few seconds of recovery between each hold, especially if you are just starting. Do you usually warm up before exercising, or do you tend to skip it? Let me know your routine below. If you are managing high blood pressure, keep in mind that long-duration holds may not be ideal at first. Short holds with rest in between are much safer, and it is always smart to speak with your doctor before starting any new training method. Over the years, I have seen many of my senior patients avoid surgeries or long rehab just by using isometric routines. One of my patients in her late 70s regained the ability to walk upstairs after just 3 months of daily 10-minute sessions focused on her legs and core. It is not about doing a lot. It is about doing it consistently. Stay with me here because the final 2 tips are seriously impactful, and I have a feeling one of them might be completely new to you. Now that you know how movement like this can strengthen your muscles without wear and tear, let's turn our attention to how plant-based protein, like lentils, can support recovery and muscle repair in a very budget-friendly way. Let's pause for a moment. What does your plate usually look like during lunch or dinner? Are you including any plant-based proteins right now? Drop a comment below and tell me your go-to meal after a walk or workout. If you are focused on staying strong and steady as you age, this kind of feedback really helps me create more of what serves you best. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Now, we will move on to something that many people often overlook, but it can quietly power muscle repair just as much as meat or eggs. Lentils may look small, but they are packed with nutrients that the body uses directly for strength, recovery, and overall cellular repair. 1 cooked cup gives you around 18 grams of plant protein, and what makes it different is the presence of amino acids like lysine and arginine. These 2 are especially valuable in muscle recovery because lysine helps repair damaged tissue and arginine improves blood flow, which brings more oxygen to recovering muscles. Along with protein, that same cup gives you about 15 grams of dietary fiber, which supports digestion and gut health. Why is that important? A healthy gut helps your body absorb other nutrients like calcium, iron, and magnesium more efficiently. If your body is not absorbing well, even the most nutrient-dense meals will not give you the full benefit. Lentils also provide nearly 20% of your daily iron needs, which is essential for delivering oxygen to working muscles. Low iron can leave you feeling weak or short of breath during basic activities. Potassium is another important mineral found in lentils, and it plays a big role in muscle contractions and preventing cramps. 1 serving gives you over 300 milligrams of it. Plus, lentils contain almost a full day's worth of folate, a B vitamin that supports red blood cell production. That matters more as we get older, especially for maintaining energy levels throughout the day. Do you usually feel a dip in energy after your midday meal? Let me know how your body responds after lunch. The best way to eat lentils is with a balance of grains and vegetables. Half to 1 cup of cooked lentils at lunch or dinner pairs well with brown rice, quinoa, or even roasted vegetables. That combination forms a complete protein, meaning your body gets all the essential amino acids it needs in one meal. I often recommend lentil soup for clients who want something warm and nourishing, or a cold lentil salad with olive oil and lemon for a refreshing alternative. Try buying lentils dry and in bulk if you can. They are not only cheaper, but also free from preservatives or added chemicals. Keep them in sealed glass jars in a cool pantry and they will last for months. Avoid canned lentils that come in BPA-lined containers or have high sodium content. If you do use canned ones, rinse them thoroughly under cold water to reduce the salt. One mistake I often see is people skipping the soaking process. Soaking lentils for about 4 to 6 hours makes them easier on the stomach and reduces compounds that can interfere with mineral absorption. Another issue is overcooking. Mushy lentils lose both their texture and part of their nutrient value. Gentle simmering is the way to go if you want to keep both taste and nutrition intact. In my experience working with seniors who are building strength on a tight budget, lentils give the most benefit for the lowest cost. I have had patients swap out expensive protein powders for lentils and still meet their protein needs with ease. They are also a great option for those following plant-based diets or dealing with digestion issues from meat proteins. Now, let's shift our focus to something just as important as food, but often overlooked in daily routines. Hydration can change the way your muscles recover, especially when the right minerals are involved. Let's take a closer look at Midday Electrolyte hydration and how it keeps your body performing at its best. Have you ever noticed that you do not feel thirsty until much later in the day, or sometimes not at all? That happens more often than you think, especially in older adults. If this sounds familiar, let me know in the comments. Knowing how your body responds helps guide what to focus on next. If you find this content helping you stay active, I would love to hear from you. Now, let's take a closer look at something simple but powerful that affects nearly every part of your strength, energy, and recovery. Midday hydration with the right minerals is often missed, but it plays a key role in muscle repair and nerve function. As we get older, the brain becomes less responsive to the usual thirst signals. That means your body may already be low on fluids before you even feel thirsty. This quiet dehydration can make your muscles feel stiff, increase the risk of cramps, and even slow your reaction time. Water alone is not always enough. That is where electrolytes come in. These are essential minerals that control how your muscles contract and relax. Sodium helps retain water in the body and prevents sudden drops in blood pressure, which can lead to dizziness or fainting after activity. Potassium helps muscles contract smoothly and supports healthy heart rhythms. Magnesium supports hundreds of processes, including nerve function and energy transfer inside your cells. Without these minerals in balance, physical activity can quickly lead to fatigue, confusion, or even muscle injury. The best time to drink an electrolyte-rich fluid is between 1 and 3 in the afternoon, especially after any kind of movement like walking, resistance training, or therapy. That is when your body starts to cool down and begins its repair process. Just 10 to 12 ounces is usually enough. You can mix coconut water with a pinch of sea salt and fresh lemon, or use a clean electrolyte tablet with no added sugar. I often recommend sugar-free options that include magnesium glycinate or potassium citrate, since those are easier on digestion and better absorbed by the body, but be careful not to overdo it. Too much sodium or potassium from repeated doses can affect kidney function, especially if you have pre-existing conditions. Unless prescribed by a doctor, once per day is more than enough for most active adults. Another mistake I see is people relying only on plain water, especially in hot weather. While water hydrates, it also dilutes essential minerals if you sweat a lot or drink in large amounts. Avoid drinking electrolyte drinks during meals, since that can interfere with digestion and nutrient uptake. The best window is mid-afternoon, away from food. And do not confuse electrolyte drinks with energy drinks. Most energy drinks contain caffeine or sugar that can spike your heart rate and leave you feeling even more drained later. Hydration is more than just a glass of water. It is about supporting the entire system your muscles rely on to move, recover, and stay balanced. So, do you drink electrolytes regularly, or is this something new for you? Drop a comment and share your experience, especially if you have found something that works well for your recovery. Let's wrap it up with a quick checklist to keep everything fresh in your mind. Start your day with 2 whole eggs for high-quality protein and essential nutrients that support strength. Add 5 to 10 minutes of isometric moves like wall sits or planks to build stability. Include half to 1 cup of lentils in lunch or dinner for extra fiber, protein, and iron. Drink a midday electrolyte mix without sugar to maintain hydration and muscle function. And take 3 grams of creatine daily with food to support energy, recovery, and strength. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe, and drop a comment below.